Let me ask you something real. Have you ever looked at your daughter or your son and felt like they were your mirror? And not just the good parts, the parts you hate, the parts you are still healing from, the parts you swore you'd never pass down. This video is for the parents who love their child deeply but still find themselves in constant conflict, especially with a child of the same sex. Mothers and daughters, fathers and sons. These relationships can be some of the most powerful bonds we experience and also some of the most painful when they go wrong. My name is Maria Fipart and I'm a certified parenting coach. I work with families of kids who are struggling with suicidal ideation, depression, and deep emotional pain. This is a hard conversation, but if you stick with me, I'm going to help you understand why same-sex parent-child relationships can get toxic, how this dynamic damages both the parent and the child, and what you can start doing today to break the cycle. So let's start with why. Why does this dynamic between same-sex parents and kids turn so toxic? The reason number one is the mirror effect. You see your younger self in them. Their choices remind you of your regrets. Their personality brings back parts of you that were never accepted or celebrated. So instead of trying to connect with them, you try to fix them. You see that in them as a bad thing because it was bad for you. So sometimes we forget they are their own person. They are not us. And when we do this thing, our kids, they don't feel loved. They don't feel like we are doing this to protect them. They feel judged and unaccepted. The reason number two is emotional projection. A lot of us are parenting with unhealed wounds, and without realizing it, we dumped all that pain onto our kids. The overprotective mom who criticizes her daughter's body because she was bullied about hers. The dad who explodes when his son shows emotion because he was never allowed to cry. Have you done any of these things? The father who struggled when he was a kid because he was a twig and he got bullied and pushed around, and now he wants his son to play on every sport and get all buffed up. The mother who was ostracized and never felt like she belonged, so now she wants her daughter to be the most popular girl in school, and she buys expensive clothes and purses even when they can't afford them. And reason number three, and this is an odd one, is competition for identity. Especially during adolescence, kids start forming their own identities. If the parent hasn't fully formed their own, it can feel threatening. You start to control, compare, and compete, even if you don't mean to. Have you caught yourself ever doing that, trying to compete with your own child? Because we see ourselves in them, but we're not young anymore. We're not able to do the same things they do right now. The reason number four is role confusion. In many families, especially single parent homes, kids of the same sex get emotionally recruited to be a support system. They stop being just a child and become your therapist, your confidant, your emotional equal. That is too much pressure for a child, and it breaks the bond over time because they are not capable of processing all that information, those things we are throwing at them. They're not fully developed, so they're not even able to process their own emotions. And we are throwing problems, like adult problems, at them. And obviously they love us and they want to protect us. They want to do right for us, but they can't. They start adulting when they are too young. It's just not fair to them. And like I said, they can't help us anyway. And we are just damaging that relationship because they end up just avoiding us over time. And if especially we are talking bad things about their parent, the other parent, that's something that just it breaks them. There's people who they might be horrible partners, but they are great parents. So if they were a good parent to your child, you are telling them all the bad things that person did to you, of course it's going to damage the image that they have of that person. And that's none of their business. That's nothing they needed to know because it doesn't concern them. And it's not fair for them. So let me describe some behaviors. If these sound familiar, please just pause and breathe. You're not alone. When we do constant criticism, like nothing they ever do is enough. They are getting better grades. They are making their bed every morning. But they left the wet towel on the ground. And then we just focus on the towel. We don't even like ever mention the good grades or that they are making their bed. So they feel like it doesn't matter what I do, it's never ever going to be enough. That's not a good feeling to have. When we make these passive aggressive comments like, oh, if you really loved me, you would act differently. If we want to get them to do something, we can just say it straightforward without adding these passive aggressive comments that they never ever work. They don't work with other adults, they don't work with kids. And we're just pushing them away. We're just telling them like, you are not good enough, like I don't like this attitude and you make me feel bad with whatever you do. Like, the things you do make me very unhappy. So we make them feel like they are bad people. Instead, just say it straightforward. Just say the things you want to say. Even if you want to put the love part in it. The fact that you are making your bed now makes me feel so good, makes me feel so proud of you. I really appreciate you listening to me. I feel loved when you do that. Thank you. It's a positive way to associate the word love with something good they do. And not like if you would love me, then you would do things for me. And they make that association in their head, and then in the future it's like, I need to do this thing for this person to love me, and that's how codependent relationships are born. We don't want to do that to our children. Or when we give them this silent treatment, when we shut down emotionally. Most of the families that come to work with me have this problem, like parents do that. Even without realizing. Like they don't realize they do that. But they do, especially the kids who are defiant, the kids who are challenging. Parents just shut down emotionally. And we don't even react anymore to what they do. So that's how they feel. Like they feel unseen. They feel like we are being indifferent, and indifferent skills. That's just a fact. They rather see us mad and yelling and screaming than to show indifference, emotional shutdown. They rather us do that. They rather us beating them than being indifferent. It hurts more. Indifference hurts more. They want to be seen. They want to feel like they belong and they are accepted just the way they are. If they do something bad, we can show them we don't like what they do. Just never make them feel like we don't love them anymore, because that's when they can go into crisis. Tell you a little story. that this is me as a daughter, not as a mom. We were young, and my sister and I, we were working at a restaurant. The people working at the restaurant, they were planning a trip to go to the beach, and we wanted to go. So we asked our father for permission. Our cousins were also going, so he was very strict with us, being girls. And we thought that because our cousins were going, that he would let us go. Like, he said no. He used to work at a hospital, and so he always saw like really bad things happening to girls, and they got hurt, they end up at the hospital. So if something happened at some girl and he learned about that in the hospital, like, we knew for 2 months or so he wouldn't allow us to go like anywhere. So he said no, and then we just kept on asking and asking and asking, but why not? Like, we're such good girls, and we deserve it, and it's gonna be so much fun, and our cousins are going, so nobody's going to disrespect us or anything because they are there. They're like my brothers, so, and we're gonna be fine. We know how to defend ourselves. And he was not. So the night before we were supposed to go, we were like insisting and insisting, and then I guess he got tired of us, and he just said, "Oh, just shush, just stop it, just go do whatever the hell you want," and blah 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 blah. He was really mad, so he threw some bad words at us, and we were just like, "Well, he said yes, right? So we're just going," and we went. I can't even say that we enjoyed the trip because we were thinking like, we're gonna pay for this. When we come back, we're gonna pay for this. I don't know what's going to happen. Because he was not happy last night. So when we came back home, he wouldn't talk to us. He wouldn't look at us. It's like we were a ghost. Like, he would just look across us like we didn't exist. We would talk, we would ask something, we would try to talk to him, and he didn't reply, or he wouldn't acknowledge that we were there. And this went on like for 2 weeks or so. And just one night, he was ready to go to sleep. He was already in bed, and I just went into his room and told him, "Hey, Dad, I don't get why you are so mad, or why you are treating us like that. At the end of the day, you said yes, and that's why we went. And we didn't do anything bad, we didn't do anything wrong. Our cousins were going with us, like we said, and they drove us here, and they talked to you, and they said, yeah, everything was fine. And you let us go. So I don't know why you are so mad at us if you let us go. But if that's gonna be your attitude, I don't want to live here anymore. So I'm gonna leave. I don't know where I'm gonna go. I don't know anything, but I just don't want to live with you. I don't want to see you every day, knowing that you don't see me. You treat me like I'm a ghost, like I don't exist." I still get emotional just remembering how I felt back then. And I didn't wait for an answer or anything. I just left. And I didn't know where I was gonna go. I didn't have the money to go anywhere, and I didn't have a plan or anything. I just knew, like, I didn't want to feel that pain anymore, and I was gonna go somewhere. I just didn't know where. And the next day, he started to talk to us again. He started just with syllables, or not even words, just sounds like just like that. But I mean, we were happy with something, and just in about a week, just everything went back to normal, and we were like, so we don't have to leave the house right now. But it was very hard, and I remember he hit me with a belt once in my life. just remember that. I remember it was all very unfair because I didn't do anything wrong. He thought I did, but I didn't. Some of my brothers or sisters were setting me up. I don't even know who did it, but I didn't. And it was nothing too bad. Like, he didn't break my skin or I didn't bleed or anything. It was just like one thing. Just, I guess he was trying to teach me a lesson. But I can't remember how I felt like back then. I can't remember feeling like he didn't love me, or I just remember the unfairness of that feeling of unfairness, and that somebody set me up, and I just didn't like that. But the feelings towards my dad, like, I don't remember how I felt. And the other thing, when he just shut down and he was just giving me the silent treatment, that I remember. And it's not that I have resentment towards him or anything. We have a great relationship. Please don't judge my dad. He's great. He had a very, very bad childhood. Just comparing how his parents were and how he was, is like 300 times better. If this helps you to put yourself in their shoes, like something your parents did to you, and compare that, if that helps you to break a cycle, to break a bad habit, please use that, because it's powerful. It really helped me. There's also the explosive arguments over small things, over nothing. It's like everybody has a goal. This day we are going to fight. We're going to find something, small or big, it doesn't matter, but we are going to fight. It's like that's a family goal every day. And there's arguments about nothing, super toxic arguments. And kids, they learn to live like that. And then when they have somebody, they have a partner or friends who are not like that, it's weird for them. They feel like they are the weird ones because they don't fight, or because a relationship they have is too peaceful. It's just strange. There's always like guilt manipulation, like, oh my god, after all I've done for you, 3 days in labor, and your head was of the size of a watermelon, and this is how you paid me. Or working all day long, working overtime to give you a good education, to give you, for you to have a roof on your head and food on your plate, and you're not able to even pick up the plate where you eat. Like, what's wrong with you? Because we are telling them they are ungrateful, they are bad people, they are unappreciative. We are telling them like so many things with those small sentences we say without knowing. So if we want to get them to do something, we can just ask straightforward, assertive, nice. We don't have to be rude. We can be kind and assertive at the same time. And without arguing, without giving like big explanations, just say whatever we want from them. And if we want to get them to do something, it's best if we do it in a nice way, in a way that they feel they are making like a big difference in your life that day. And that it matters. What they do matters. They make a difference in your day because they exist. Because they make your life easier in that way. That really works. Because on their side, what they feel, like they become people pleasing to the point of losing their own identity. They stop thinking of what they want, who they want to become, what they want to do, because they are thinking on how am I going to please this person, how am I going to make this person happy, instead of thinking what they want. I've heard so many adults who are still doing something they don't want to do. They are just doing it because their parents told them to, or because their girlfriend told them to, the wife. They are trying to please their kids instead of raising them, instead of guiding them, instead of leading them. They are trying to please their kids, and it's just chaos, of course. Then there's rebellion, there's secret keeping or lying, because they don't want that. They don't want all that toxicity. So they start to manipulate like things around them, or they don't tell you things so that you don't give them a hard time, or there's no more fights, or there's no more judging, or they lie to get away with things or to hide things from you. And all of this, what's causing in them is low self-worth. And then there's the emotional shutdown. They also don't want to show you their emotions because they feel judged and unappreciated. In more severe cases, this drives to self-harm, suicidal ideation, and total emotional disconnection. We don't want to get to that point. And there's things we can do to solve this before we get to this point. I'm not saying like every family that has this type of relationships with the kids has to end up here, but there's a big chance that can happen. So why risk it? I really hope you can see yourself here and see if you are doing these things. I hope you can see yourself here and see how this is affecting your kid and how you can correct these things so that you don't get to the point where your kids start doing this self-harm, having suicidal thoughts, and God forbid when they start acting on those thoughts. Because all of this is not just our personalities clashing. These are relational wounds that run deep, and if we don't do anything about it, sometimes they stay. They get worse and they stay. When this toxic pattern sets in, here's what it does to your child. Emotionally, they don't feel safe to be themselves. They walk on eggshells or just give up completely. Mentally, they internalize your voice as their inner critic, saying like, oh, I'm too much, I'm just not good enough, or I'm a failure. So imagine that negative voice, that inner critic, somebody in their head always telling them they are not good enough. That's your voice. That's terrible. That's a terrible thought to have as a mother, because we want them to succeed. And I'm pretty sure that if you do these things, you are doing it because you wanted them to succeed, not because you want them to fail. But we are doing the total opposite, because that's what they hear is, I'm not good enough, I'm a failure, I'm a bad person, I'm doing all these things to my mother, to my father. And then socially they just start pushing people away. They don't want to have to deal with people because they think they are not equipped for that. Or the opposite, they just cling desperately to unhealthy relationships, looking for validation. They create codependency with these relationships. Becomes like a poison. The more toxic the relationship is, the more they want to stay there. It's like the codependency it just becomes stronger, and that's so unhealthy. And in many cases, these relationships, they last for a long time, so it's like they are wasting time. Maybe they could find another person where their relationship could be healthy, but they don't see that. They see those relationships as boring. And then physically, they start developing chronic stress that shows up in sleep issues. They can't sleep, or they sleep too much, or they can't stay asleep. They develop migraines, anxiety, immune problems. They start to get sick too much, too often. And the worst of them, spiritually, they lose a sense of purpose, self-worth, and belief that they matter. This is the one that can drive them to have suicidal ideation, and act on it. They don't know why they are here. They don't know they are good. They feel like if they are not here tomorrow, nothing is going to change. Like maybe things are gonna be even better. Like there's no point of them being here. This is where we have to act more urgently. We can make them feel that they matter, that there's a purpose of their existence. And this sounds counterproductive, but we give them chores, and then we make them feel appreciated for those chores that they are doing. An example: one day you have a headache, you have a migraine, and you go to your daughter, "Hey, baby, would you mind helping me cook today? I have this terrible migraine, and if I'm near the heat on the stove, I'm gonna get worse, and I really don't want that. Would you mind helping me? Would you mind helping me today? I'm gonna be there watching you and everything. I just wanted to help me with that part. It would mean the world to me." I don't see any kid saying no to that statement. If you say, "Hey, I have a migraine, so I can't cook today. You're gonna have to help me. So you come with me, you're gonna be in the stove, you're gonna be doing that. Because I can't do that by myself. Like this is a community, you have to help. I mean, I don't have to do everything, do I?" And you see the difference? And we did these things without intending to do it. Then after you had dinner, whatever, just, "Oh my god, you have no idea how much you helped me today. I feel like my migraine is already going away, and that's because you helped me. Thank you." And then you give him a hug. You know how much that's gonna mean to them? Just they made a difference to your life that day. They made your life better. Because they exist, you had a better day that day. That gives them purpose. That shows them that they matter. It's not just with words. Kids think that we give them compliments and we tell them we love them and all that because we are their mothers, and it's kind of like our obligation to do it. So when we just say words but we don't show them, they don't really believe us. All these praises we give them, they don't apply them to themselves unless we show them like that. So I really encourage you to do that. Because here's the scary truth. Many kids don't talk about it. They just go numb until one day they explode, or they just disappear into silence. And here's the truth you need to hear. You are not a bad parent. You are a human who is learning. But if this is showing up in your relationship, you must act. Love without skill can still cause harm. So let's talk healing. First, own your role. Stop defending and start reflecting. Ask yourself, where am I repeating patterns I swore I'd break? Second, apologize authentically. This isn't weakness, it's a strength. It requires more courage to say, "I'm sorry I was wrong," than to just keep your pride and act like you didn't do anything wrong. Nobody's learning when we do that. Just say it. "I see how I've hurt you. I'm learning to do better, and I'm sorry. You don't deserve this pain." And then when you have said your piece, stop talking and start listening. Let them talk until they are done. Don't try to fix them. Don't try to correct what they are saying. Just let them talk. Sometimes the most healing thing you can say to them is, "Tell me more. I'm here for you. No judgment." But if we say no judgment, that means we don't judge them for real. Because if we do, if we say I'm not gonna judge you, and then we do, then they're not gonna trust us. It's really hard to gain their trust in all these processes, and it's very easy to lose it. So I'm going to give you an example. We can state facts and we can judge. We state a fact. Honey, you left your wet towel on the ground today. Judgment. You're so unconsidered. You never think about me. Now I have to wash all those stinky towels. I've told you many, many times not to do that. And what, do you ever listen to me? Of course not. Because what am I, a slave in this house? Like, nobody ever contributes to keeping this house in order. Is this how you showing me respect? Is this how you show me that you love me? If you love me, you wouldn't do this. You would be more considerate with your mother. Nobody's ever going to want to move in with you if you're gonna be like this. You have to respect the area where you live. You already told them they are inadequate, they are pigs, they are unconsidered, they are bad children. All of that is implied in the sentences that you made. And the first one was just a statement, it was just a fact. Hey honey, you left your towel on the ground this morning. Then don't break the silence, just let that statement sit. Just look them at the eye and say that. And just, if they want to walk away, just I'm talking to you. This morning you left the towel on the ground. It's most likely they're going to say, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot. I was in a rush and I forgot, I'm sorry. They might look like they're sorry, they might look like they are more annoyed than sorry. That's the way it is. And then you can make a plan with them. So what can we do so that doesn't happen again? How do you think we can fix that? They might come up with an idea. Hey, well, I'm gonna put a post-it in by the door so I can see it before I leave the bathroom. Just to pick up the towel. Or I can set an alarm in my phone before I leave the house to remind me to pick up the towel or something. If they can come up with a solution, it's more likely that they are going to remember it. So don't give them the solution. Let them come up with it. They are smart. They know better. Just stick with them. Don't give up. Just stay there. Just be there. Your presence, that's all they need. Okay, so what can we do? What do you think we can do? And like that, no yelling, nothing, just a regular conversation. We are forgetting how to have conversations. It's just sickening to me. Drives me crazy. And then we can just set clear boundaries on both sides. Because not everything needs to be corrected. Sometimes we just have to let them be and let them make mistakes. As long as their life is not in danger. As long as they are not in danger. We have to let them grow in their own voice. Even when it's scary, even if it scares you. Like, they're going somewhere, they're going to make a mistake. Like, your son's going to a party and he's wearing grandpa's shirt that he found in the closet somewhere and he thought it's super cool and he's wearing it. And he might be bullied like really bad in that party. Maybe the girls are not gonna be wanting to dance with him because of the shirt he's wearing, and it hurts not to say something. Or if he sticks to his ground, I like the shirt, so this is what I'm going to wear. And we have to let them be. And maybe we are wrong. Maybe people like his shirt. Maybe some people don't like his shirt and he's confident enough to say, so what, it's my shirt, you don't have to like it, I have to like it, mind your own business. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Or maybe he gets bullied, maybe his feelings get hurt, maybe some girl tells him like, you're a little ridiculous with that shirt, I'm never gonna dance with you. Then if they do, he's gonna learn something. It's not gonna be a mistake, it's gonna be a lesson. If we just change that perspective, and if we don't allow them to make their own mistakes, they're going to suffer worse. And sometimes we don't let them make those mistakes because it's about us. Like, I don't want to see my child suffer. It's about me not wanting to see them suffer. It's not like, sometimes we just have to let them make mistakes, because otherwise they're not going to learn. We don't learn from positive experiences, and that's just life. And if this is your case, get support, whether if it's coaching, therapy, or a trusted mentor. Don't try to do this alone. You can't pour from an empty cup, so fill up your cup, so you have a lot to pour. Parenting isn't about control, it's about connection. And connection takes courage. The courage to look in the mirror, the courage to break cycles, the courage to say, this ends with me. If you want to start rebuilding trust with your son or daughter today, download my free checklist or book a free call with me. Let's talk. Let's heal. Let's fight for your family. Because purpose dies a painful death without action. And your child is worth every ounce of effort. Be a mama bear.